Hey y'all, welcome to the very first episode of Unfiltered Recap. Today we are recapping Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 1. And I actually watched the unfiltered version. So we're just gonna get straight into it. So first things first, Chad, we started with Miss Sheree. Now I'm okay. So let's talk about the looks. So all the girls looked good, but my favorite would have to be Cousin Courtney. I mean, to be a friend of the show, she ate the girlies up, okay? Um, I didn't really care for Kenya's. Drew's was cute. I actually liked Candy's. It was fitting for her. Marlo did look like Miss Roper. Yep. Um, who else? Manetto's was cute. Sheree, it looked like a fashion overdress. Um, did I miss anybody? Oh, Sonya, and it gave Sheen. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recap the reunions, but I will come back and I will actually recap the entire season for you all. So yeah, let's get into it. So it started off with a recap of Sheree. And I'm not gonna spend too long on her. But we talked about Sheree and Martell and their fake relationship. So now apparently they're not really they talking but they ain't talking. That's what it kind of gave me. It's like, oh, we talk but we're not together, but we still hang out, and I'm not really focused on him anymore. Yeah. Um, it wasn't real. And then we talked about, well, I'm saying we, like I was there. They talked about Sheree and the whole Bob situation, about Bob bringing his daughter to Sheree's event, and Sheree not knowing, never knowing about the daughter. It was just weird. I don't know. It was just weird. Um, and then they went into the mess. Andy brought up about Candy mentioning Sheree's new face, and Candy made it clear that she was talking about. She was saying that Sheree looked like Drew in one of her pictures, and Sheree said she told Drew that was one of her worst pictures, and she should be offended. But yeah, it was a mess. Um, Sheree's new face is a mess. But I mean, she still look good, but she just don't look like Sheree. She's slowly not looking like Sheree, and she does look like Hazel E a little bit. But I digress. Um, so then I think we moved into Kenya. I'm not sure. I'm really not, because to me, I'm gonna be real with y'all. This reunion it just felt rushed. It felt ran through. I took notes, and I'm looking back at my notes like, are these even in the right order? But it was just very much rushed. I feel like they put a lot of stuff in there on one part, and it was just like all over the place. But I digress. So then we have Kenya with the fail prop for Marlo. I don't know how. I can't remember how we got there. Like I said, this reunion it didn't give as much as the trailer made it give. But Kenya brought a prop. She pulled out a blank subpoena for Marlo. and says that Marlo had been texting Mark or whatever, and that it's in the discovery of their. Kenya has had the longest divorce I have ever seen in my life. But yeah, the reason why she brought the fake subpoena, I don't know why she brought this fake subpoena, but if she was really trying to subpoena Marlo for court, it was because Marlo had kicked the door when they went, where did they go? Alabama. Marlo had kicked Kenya's door, and Brooklyn was in there, so Mark had a problem with that. So Kenya was like, she need to come to court and talk about that. And then we ended up back on Sheree. Sheree's birthday dinner. Yeah, we talked about Sheree's birthday dinner. I keep saying we. I'm sorry, y'all. I wouldn't. But Sheree's birthday dinner, the ladies was talking about how they feel like Martell should have paid. I don't know why they thought. Well, Sonya, I can't remember if they actually touched bases on Sonya saying that, but she did say in an after show she thought that he was gonna pay. But let me tell you something. Martell ain't got no money for his ex-wife. He ain't had no money since they split up. So why y'all thought he was gonna pay for dinner? But they started talking about it, and Sheree said something about. Andy made mention. So you gonna pay for the birthday dinner? And Sheree said, "Do I look like I was gonna pay for the birthday dinner?" And Andy kind of threw a little shade in there about Sheree not paying bills. And so I actually watched the regular version first, and then I watched the Unfiltered. And I believe this scene wasn't in the regular, where it was like a little added, where Drew brought up that Sheree still owes her from the balloons from the little party they threw last season. Sheree never paid her. And then Sheree ends up bringing up, it was just random, because Andy said something about Sheree not paying her bills, and then Sheree jumped on Drew, and then Candy, and Sheree mentioned about Drew being in court for $1,000, and then she said something about Candy and stealing ideas from Johnny. If y'all don't remember, when the whole Candy and Phaedra and Portia situation happened, Johnny, which was somebody that did work for Candy, her events or whatever, came on there talking about, Candy stole the ideal of our OLG from him. And Candy was like, why the hell would I steal an idea that's wrapped around and based around my aunts and my mama from you? But I digress. So yeah, it was just very weird how Sheree went from getting shade thrown from Andy to jumping on Candy and Drew. Excuse me. And so Sheree, Candy tells Sheree that she needs to worry about them Sheen fashions and not be worried about her. And y'all, Sheree pulls out a receipt about RHOA. If y'all remember, she helped Sheree on the fashion show that had fashions. And saying RHOA had paid the designer. And I recently heard, this is alleged, but I recently heard on somebody else's commentary that the designer actually came back out and said that RHOA paid him something, but Sheree never paid him. And so they was like, Candy need to get him and put him on the speaker on it. But child, I would love to see that. I ain't even gonna lie. I would love to see that. But they went from talking about she by Sheree then I don't know. It, like I said, it was chopped and screwed and it was all over the place. They started talking about Sheree's unusual. They went back to the Sheree's face, her new face. So Candy was coming at her new face. So like I said earlier, they was talking about it earlier. Then we skipped to Kenya and Marlo, and now we're back on Sheree's face. I don't know. But Sheree was, I don't know, she was doing the most. She was getting up and telling Candy she wish she looked like this, and I don't know. It was just a lot. And she was like, little face, big face, little face. I don't know. Um, it was just, it was just a lot. Like, Sheree's a little older than my mom, and it's just like, you're acting how I'm supposed to be acting, and I'm 26, and I don't act like that. But I digress. I know y'all getting paid for it. I know she's probably securing a beach for next season, but okay. So the girls, Sheree ended up saying that was her first nose job. So I think this is another part that was kind of extended on the unfiltered version. And the lady was like, Sheree, now you done had some work done. You might not have said it, but you done had some work done, child. And that's what allegedly, I said that in my head too. I was like, wait a minute, Sheree, your first one. I thought this was at least the second, because I could have sworn she got one around the second season. Was she on the second season of Housewives? I don't know. Like the first season of Housewives, second season, I think it was second. She had a nose job. I thought, I could be wrong. I didn't go back and check. But yeah. She said allegedly this was her first one, and that she was having sinus problems, and she told them to just go ahead and give her a nose job while they was there. But yeah, and so when Sheree was doing the whole big face, little face thing, and it was like, what that mean? Sheree was like, when my face was swollen and now it's little again. Miss Candy, legendary worldwide Burris Tucker told her the only big faces Sheree needs to worry about is them big faced blue honeys. Okay? She said exactly like that, but that's what she meant. That Sheree need to be worried about that paper and not be worried about nothing else. And then we was still talking about She by Sheree. And Candy brought up the fact that some of the fashions that were on the runway are still not on the site. Which I haven't been on the site since after it had crashed and it came back up last year, and I seen how high it was. I was like, no, I'm not buying it. And so I never went back to look at her site. I would have loved a hoodie or something, but $100 some is crazy. But hey, you gotta make your money. Whatever. So, Sheree ended up telling Candy, she needs to focus on her businesses. And this was like the funniest part to me. The whole Sheree and Candy situation was funny, but this was the funniest. Sheree was like, you need to focus on your businesses. And Candy politely said, very serious, I do. And it was just so funny. Because Sheree, you've been working on She by Sheree for how long? Candy has had how many business in between that time? It took you to launch one? Oh, I digress. So, in that moment, Sheree has a prop. A rehearsed prop. Because you can tell it was rehearsed. And it's She News. So, in this newspaper, Drew called it a pamphlet, which was funny. But in this paper, it has like a couple of bad reviews about the OLG restaurant, and then she has the rest of it dedicated to tags where I guess she was comparing and contrasting, like, the manufacturer of AliExpress to the Tags boutique prices. And it went from AliExpress, you get it for $9 and something, but at Candy's boutique you get it for like 75. And Candy was like, Candy was basically saying, well, all my stuff is affordable. And she kept saying it, which is true. She says her stuff is affordable for people to afford to buy. Excuse me. And so, yeah, she was just like, she never put it out there that she makes her fashions or she designs. She never put it out that she was a designer or anything like Sheree does. So, that's not gonna bother her. And I'm gonna be Team Candy right now. If you a boutique owner and you just selling clothes, I mean, the manufacturer gonna be less, and you got to up the price so you can make a profit, Sheree. That's why you probably gonna take more than 2 years to see a profit off She by Sheree. I'm sorry, cause you overpricing some stuff that we can get on Shein, ain't it Shein or Shein, whatever. Your friends and stuff can buy it, your peers can buy it, but you got fans out here that want to buy your stuff, but you got it so overpriced that people can't afford it, and you making it like it's a designer brand, and it's not. If you gonna make it a designer brand, girl, come up with some designs and some original fashions. Don't nobody want to see no joggers, because I can easily put your logo on the sweatshirt myself with a Cricut machine and a heat press. I'm sorry, but and just talking about Candy stuff and trying to make it, I don't know, it was just very rehearsed. And like Candy had said, who helped her with these reads? Cause y'all, it probably took a group of y'all to come up with these, and it still ain't hit like talking about. It still ain't hit. I digress. But Candy said she wish Sheree put as much effort in these props as she did her business. Maybe she'd be be further than what she is. I digress. And Candy's Tag Boutique been in business for 14 years, selling for 14 years. So, yeah. And Candy says she wish she'd print out some fashions. But yeah, like she printed out this pamphlet. So yeah, Sheree hasn't made any profit, but she did give Drew her bag that she had been crying about all season. So then we went into Drew, and her flashback, and in her flashback she said something about she wasn't doing nothing less than Lifetime and above. Okay, and so she was talking about Todd and Candy's movie. I feel like that was a little shady, but okay. Hey, I digress. And then she was saying she wanted Kenya to support her more, but I don't know. It was just weird because her and Kenya both dogged each other out. Kenya called her video shoot low budget. Drew dogged her out about Twa. I don't know. And then we get into the whole Drew and Candy and LaToya situation. Look here. I'm going to save my little 2 pieces on this, my little 2 cents. I just honestly feel like Drew, I don't know. I was disappointed in Drew. And it was just weird that I don't know, because you admitted on TV that you kissed a girl before, and now you're saying you haven't, and now you saying it was a whole bunch of candy coated lies. I don't know, but what's crazy is everybody else had their 2 cents, and they all said that Drew be lying. Because Drew was like, "What have I lied about? What have I lied about?" And Sanya even said, "You lied on me." Marlo said, "I've heard you lie." And Sheree said, "Before I met you, they was telling me you lied." So, I don't know. I'm not going to talk too much about that. That was just... But in the unfiltered version, I do have to say that they did, and Candy mentioned this in her after show, on Speak On It. She said that she was side-eyeing Drew about her sister having mental illness because Drew be lying. So she said it in her after show, but then she was like, okay, I see that, she really does have, something really is wrong with her. And so, yeah, so Candy had admitted to that on Speak On It, that she said that during the after show that she thought Drew was lying. And so that's when they all chimed in about Drew lying or whatever. And then once Drew kept calling Candy a liar, Candy told Drew like she felt like she gaslights Ralph. And I ain't gonna lie, it kind of seemed like that too. But I feel like they gaslight each other. I'm not just gonna say I take Ralph's side, because I don't. But I do feel like they both, like, it seemed like Drew be trying to play the victim. But I feel like they both have a part in this. But after this, honestly, it kind of got dead. Like, I don't know. Once they talked about Marlo a little bit, and the only thing that was eye-catching in that moment when they talked about Marlo was that she admitted that she's talked to Ralph about him and Drew, and that kind of like threw Drew for a loop because she didn't know. And Marlo was like, "Oh, he didn't tell you. He reached out to me." But other than that, once the Friends of the Show came on, it wasn't too much else left to talk about, really. Cousin Courtney, says her and Ralph are like the Fast and Furious cousins. I honestly feel like they're messing around, or gonna end up messing around. It just seems like, I don't know, it just seems weird. I don't know. And then they talked about Moneta with the whole collusion situation, and they brought up Sonya laughing when Courtney was calling, when she said Candy brought out the ghetto. Like, it really got dry towards the end. It was like, the only exciting part about the reunion was the beginning, when Sheree was bringing out all these props. Literally. But yeah, and then the end, like the very end, they did bring out, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Kenya was talking about how production didn't show her salon opening. Andy actually congratulates her, but I hate we didn't get to see it. Yeah, it was very a lot of it's just, I don't know, it was a snooze towards the end. Sheree not remembering her shade per usual. Kenya did end up calling Marlo Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. But yeah, and then they brought up about what is it? Drew making a statement about Ty. She had a crush on Ty on the set, which I found very interesting. But then her and Courtney went back and forth about something about Courtney bringing up her son. I don't really know. It was just like a lot at the end that didn't make sense. And like I said, once again, it was like the whole reunion was just rushed and was all over the place. I honestly give it a 5.5, maybe a 6, just because of the props that Sheree brought were interesting. Well, the prop that she brought was interesting, and just her. It was funny because you could tell Sheree had rehearsed it, because the way she threw them out, rehearsed her reads, that is, because the way she threw them out, they was just all over the place. And Candy stood her ground. Candy did what she had to do. But yeah, Kenya wasn't activated like she normally is. Drew was activated. Sheree, once again, was all over the place. Marlo was there. Sanya was there. That was pretty much it. I mean, Courtney, she was alright. Manietta was there. Yeah, so it was like so much information packed into so little time, the first half, but the rest was literally a drag. So, like I said, I'll do a recap of the entire season since I'm late to the party with recapping. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments, how did y'all like the reunion, and make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm new here. But I hope y'all enjoy. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.